Okay, so she was the only one holding alcohol. An old-fashioned is a drink. Also, an old-fashioned is an act, but we're not going to get into that. Hello, I'm Z.S. Pantera. Welcome to Z Reviews, and we have competition. And in the audio space, competition is good or bad. Actually, no, when is it bad? It's never bad. It's always good. It's always fucking good. So, King of the Hill, KOSS, KPH 40. Now, this pair is modified with my specific Dakoni hole-punched pads. And I have included a balanced cable, although, to be fair, the old-fashioned is sporting a standard 2-pin flare cable that is now also going to 4.4, so that is a fair... In fact, I've even got this weird fucking thing that I built and then was afraid to plug in, because what if it explodes at Valencia? And then I'm like, oh, I'll just pay Leo money. With the splitters and the things, so we're giving the exact same signal from the exact same fuck you source giant tubes, because if I'm testing against this, and this is, by all means, if I had to weigh out every headphone I've ever reviewed, ever, and you said, all right, well, what if you just throw what's the price to performance? It's this one. This wins. All headphones, it wins. You know how much this costs? The KPH 40? $40. So Moondrop drops the old-fashioned detachable cable. This one is labeled 3.5, and I'm not sure if you can get it in different. We're gonna look it up. $25. And the world is like, oh my fucking God. Whoa. I mean, we're not going to compare against the Porta Pros. I guess they could technically be considered going against the Porta Pros and not, I have the wireless ones here. We'll just have to use those as an example. Because this is also, I wanted to go articulating cup. The wired ones are just this with a wire. So it's fine. Those, I think, are 30. So the 40s are my favorite of the KOSS lineup. Then there's the Porta Pro, wired or wireless. The wireless ones are a little bit expensive because this was our first one, and then the new ones. But that, and then this just undercuts everybody. It's fuck you, $25. Fuck you, $25. And you know what? If you want to end the review right here, they are 100% worth $25 fucking. It's Moondrop, for crying out loud. All right. If you don't know who Moondrop is, and I gotta keep looking up because that's a tall one. If you don't know who Moondrop is, well, how about the Para 2, the Cosmos, which is next to it. I've got the old Laputa, not Laputa anymore. Now it's the Skyland, and somewhere over there is the. No, what are you? Yes, that one. Moondrop's been making headphones. And every time I get a Moondrop headphone, I like to change the pads. I haven't done it on the Skyland yet, and I probably wouldn't do it on this. The problem is I don't think you actually can easily find a pad that'll fit this, because that's a pretty large gape. Let's actually, let me see if I could swap pads, because I didn't try this. And if I do it right now, because I know the sound differences, and they're subtle, but actually, wait, let me rephrase that. I know the sound differences, and they're not fucking subtle, but neither one of them is a bad representation. It's two different schools, and this could also be my pad choice. Going with the dense black Dakoni foam, linked in the description. Thank you for purchasing through the links. Changes the bass response a bit, because sound has a hard time getting through this material versus like the cheaper foam that usually the things come with, especially these come really thin. So by me putting holes through it, that means treble can come through there, and then the bass is still trapped here. So I actually get like more of a V shape in them, and it just makes the soundstage huge. Can I get this on here? Which, by the way, there's a driver. Honestly, it's kind of cool looking. Is it clear? And then there's a red backing behind it? And you only really see that if you take the cups off. They didn't have to paint that at all. There's maybe a little bit of red in there. This isn't blue on that side, is it? So let's see if I could just... If I can get these on there. If Moondrop was smart, and I think they were, oh shit, audiophiles are eating good tonight, boys and girls. Because I don't hate the pads on the old-fashioned, that they're comfortable. So should I talk about like the sound while I'm swapping this out? First of all, I swapped the wire out because I didn't want to deal with 3.5. The wire that comes with it Absolutely a delight for $25 headphone. No shit. Like look, it's got the thing, and then it has pretty good, like, actual strain relief that moves. Some of them are like hard plastic, and like that doesn't help. And then it's got like a textured, like, pin. Like they must have watched my videos, and they're like, oh, the Zeus hates kinky wires. And then it'll be on my permanent record. But now it's like, look at this fucking thing. It's a laser beam. It's thin, it's light, it lays down properly. It comes up to even thinner wires that somehow still don't feel shit. And then it's terminated with 2-pin up top, marked left and right. Now, I did have to reverse one side. I hooked it up so it was like showing the R and the R and the L and the L. And I could just get a hairdryer, by the way, and just hang it like this and go, woo. And if you hairdryer this, which I will link in the description, because if you're going to buy these, buy this with it, support the channel. It will straighten out, and then you'll just have straight leads. Unlike the actual flare cable that is designed with dual 3.5s, which you can buy for your headphones, which comes with 4.4, 3.5, and a USB for $50. This one is not really designed to be on headphones, because why would it be? But they did this because people have been begging. KOSS's answer to, hey, we want detachable wires, was the utility system, which means you still have attached wires, but you can swap out the wire that goes to the end. In fact, I'm going to swap out this one, which was $35. It's really long, it's fabric covered, and it's nice, and it's wood. And I was like, you know what? People aren't going to buy that if they buy that. Let's get the cheapest one I could find. So you have to look this up. It's an Audio-Technica M40 or M50. And that just plugs into the female there. And then this actually has the same type of wiring material as the Moondrop, which is kind of interesting. It's like a textured lines this way. And it goes to 4.4. So, right angle 4.4. So now that, with no fucking pads on it, I guess I'll play devil's advocate. All these are slutty pads compared. Oh, they're loose. Hot dog down a hallway. They are very similarly sized to the Daconia, I want to point out. It's the standard pads on these are only as big as that. It's one of those things I yell at KOSS about, and if I did a collab with them on this, it would come with basically modified Daconia pads. But that's a nice change, is that they've already got pretty good thick... Oh, wait, almost did that backwards. This is left side. Old-fashioned. It's got like warning text like you would imagine. Dynamic driver, 40mm, L, open back, and then it says Moondrop. I get what it's going for. I just rewatched Aliens. And if you haven't seen the Alien and Aliens series, please fucking go watch it. They're going for like that industrial, mechanical, like, oh, warning labels, we're in a warehouse, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to tuck these under for now, even though that's very awkward that one goes forward and one goes backwards. As far as overall feel, well, it's hitting the table too, so that's unfair, but these don't rattle, and these do. There's a little bit more plastic on plastic contact. Like I think, yeah, it actually hits here, and it is still just a ball socket like the KOSS use. Maybe a more robust one. I'm not going to yank it off in case it does shatter. The headband here is a single piece of stainless steel. This is plastic, and it looks like they put a little rubber foot in there, and that's just, literally you feel it sliding up and down in there, and that's what holds it. And when you are wearing it and it's stretched open, it actually gets harder to move, which is good because it doesn't slip. So that's nice. You move it nice and easily, and you pull it out, and it doesn't move nice and easily. So that's a good feature. They don't look terrible. I mean, honestly, smoked plastic, I feel like that's about as old-fashioned as I can think. As a kid, as a small kid, every one of my father's toolboxes were like tan with gray smoked plastic drawers and everything. It was such a 90s thing, or an 80s thing. I don't know what decade that's from, but it's old. Not like old-fashioned 1950s. This is basically saying, look, we made 90s headphones, like these old-fashioned ones. All right, I haven't listened like this. We're going into this together. If this works and does what I think it's going to do, which is basically we should reverse the sound profile, then I will link all the parts for this in the description. What was I just listening to? It was not playing at all. Oh, wait. No, yeah, that's why. Oh, it was still playing. Oh, fuck. All right, so the KPH-40s technically are not returned to stock. This is just a weird mod I've put on it that I've never heard in my life. Wider and much quieter. Those apparently are doing a great job at like focusing the sound. These, before I swapped pads, these were still the wider soundstage pair of headphones. And this was a more focused, frontal firing pair of headphones. And I'm like, that's good. That means I have two different sound profiles. I could recommend the KPH-40s, or actually pretty much most KOSS, which is why I love them, go for soundstage. They go for this like bigness in the sound. It isn't laser focused in your ears. This was more laser focused, but not to the point of being uncomfortable. Not M50X, which is, I hate the most of all headphones. People need to stop using it. Please. But now I gotta listen some more. I gotta listen some more. Because this woman was just screaming at me. Hold on. What the hell is this? Secret track?
Mamba!
Apparently listening to Kill Bill. Ooh, I might have made an amazing change. So, I was going to say what I said about these are the bigger, wider ones, and I thought the sound quality in these was a little bit better, but it was pad. It was all pad. It was all the Dakoni pads. I mean, obviously, I love the KOSS enough to fuck with them. The biggest line, the hurdle that headphones that are sold have to cross is you have to fuck with them just enough that you're like, you know what? I fuck with these. I'm going to keep fucking with them. Like, if I thought the KOSS KPH-40s were mid, I wouldn't have touched them. I wouldn't have bothered. I would have been like, yeah, they are. And I would have thrown them in a pile and never thought them out of again. But everything KOSS is sent, minus Pro 4 AAs, has been pretty much good enough, even great enough stock, to just want to push it that little bit further. And I was on the edge with these. I only gave them maybe an hour listen. I burned them in. I gave maybe an hour listening, and I never sat down with them like this. I did it for 10 seconds before the start of the review just to make sure that the efficiencies were similar and one wasn't exploding. And we're actually pretty close on this. And I started on that, and I was like, you know what? It's a good attempt, but it sounds cheaper. It sounds more focused, and maybe the details aren't coming through as much, and it definitely doesn't have the bass response of the KOSS. And I switched to the KOSS, and the KOSS have better bass, and it's bigger and wider and clearer. I'm like, all right, it makes sense. You're spending $15 more. But swapping pads, so now these get the Dakoni pads, which let the treble straight out that hole in front, because you want it to come out the. Actually, if I put it on backwards, what does that do? Hold on, more experiments. I know the song will be backwards. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and it just makes it a little bit duller. No, I still like it in front more. So, it really, in the long run, it doesn't. This doesn't hurt KOSS. This only helps, because now if you're wondering about these and you've never heard those, I'm going to recommend this. You're about to spend hold on, let me do math, $125? You're about to spend $125. I know, but you're going to get two headphones. What you're going to do is, you're going to buy these for $25. And then you're going to have to change the wire, because as much as this is fine, it's like you want to go hardcore. We're hardcore here. So you're going to have to find, you don't have to buy specifically my flare. I will link it. If you don't want to buy my flare, don't bother. It's great. It comes with 3.5, 4.4, and a USB dongle. You know, that for $50, actually only $35 for this one because it's a 2-pin, $50 for the headphone one. So $35 maybe is too much. But if you spend $25 on the headphone and then $35 on the wire, which the USB will, by the way, power this just fine, then you got to spend on the pads. And that is literally the thing I said for the 40s. So you're either starting out spending 25 and then money on a wire and then money on pads, or 40 and then money on a wire and then money on pads. It's the same difference. I want you to own both. You only have to get one set of the pads, and then you can swap them back and forth and see if you like it. You do have to get two different wires, though, because this is the most dumb, but since Audio-Technica M50s are popular, this can be gotten for $16. And then you can go cheaper than my cable if you want to get just whatever 2-pin, and then heat it and straighten it so it doesn't have a loop. And then you got to go and you got to figure out if you want to spend on the pads. Now, I think pads make the most difference. Certainly in this case, you could just fucking hear it. I literally basically reversed the effects of the headphone on each other. Get one set of the black, specifically black Dakoni Porta Pro pads. The blue and red ones, which I usually would be like, oh, that's my favorite, are actually the soft foam like this is. The black foam is technically a rubberized foam and not just a foam. Like you could feel it's like rubbery. And it's blocking more air, which is what causes it to hold the air back, which causes it to develop more low end, which then you pop some holes. And the last thing you'll need to buy, if you buy the Dakoni Blacks, is a fucking hole punch. A cheap one, like a $5 one, because you got to dismantle part of it. So you could actually punch holes in giant ear pads, which, by the way, is not as easy to line up as you think it is, and you're going to fuck up at least once. In fact, this set, you could say I have only 2 holes, because I was just like, that one was like crooked and further back, and I'm like, fine, it's fine. But that's my go-to mod for the KOSS. You can use them stock. You can use these stock. They're absolutely fine at $25 with the stock cable and the stock pads. They're nice, thick, soft pads. But they're not the best sounding pads. Old fashions and sounding. Just stop looking up the tags, the hentai tags. Now, literally, you've watched me go from like giving these an 8 out of 10 to a 9.5 out of 10. Because I didn't think to do. You know what? Fuck it. It's not like, oh, well, I listened for another 3 hours and it turns out they weren't great sounding. They were just incredibly good sounding. No, I'm committing. This is just my sound demo playlist tracks. So let's go some Yoon Son Na. Let's get some, where are we? Now we are on a ridiculous source. So if I undo the ridiculous source and I go to just a pretty good source, that actually focuses them a little bit more. This is craziness of tube into that. This is Yoon Son Na, Asturias from the Immersion album. These are so much quieter. The pad material is so thick because the stock pads in this are like that thick. And this is like that thick. So it's actually far enough away that it's lowered the overall volume. So driver's playing as loud as it always has. I'm just so far away it sounds quieter than those. I have to squeeze this against my... Yeah, I feel like it's unfair now. Now it feels like they're unbalanced. That's another thing it's probably doing is, since those are thinner pads, you actually are getting closer to the driver. So I'm recommending putting thinner pads on it, get close to the driver, and then but block it and pop some. Look, I didn't think I was going to have to do this again. This was enough. I had my $40 recommendation, the cheapest headphone I recommend. This is now the cheapest headphone I recommend. I would recommend going for both because you could hear definite sound tuning differences. I think the KOSS are still warmer. But then take that warmth and you double it with the pads. And you know what? Try just one hole. You could always pop more holes. You can't unpop a hole. I feel there's a dirty joke in there somewhere, and someone in the comments will fucking write it for me, so let's keep reading. Yeah, I'm gonna... Let me undo this. We're done sharing. No more sharing. Sharing is caring. Let's go straight $2,500 fucking German. Oh, I hate when I'm at the end of a song. I can't tell how loud it is. You know what's going to suck? Because I bought these. I didn't ask Moondrop to send it. I didn't ask a retailer to send it. I purchased. It was $25. By the time I email China and they see it, the Amazon delivery driver's already been thanked. And these arrived the same day as the Skyland, which is their, I don't even know how much Skyland is, like $1,500. With these pads and a changed wire, I'm gonna go straight in the wire now, because now that I've done this, I want this to be a permanent pairing. But now that I've done this, I have the same fear I had when I found out that KOSS's new like premium $300+ headphone is coming. Oh please, KOSS, for the love of God, let it be better than KPH-40s with a pad swap. Oh please, God of audio, who exists only to fucking scratch our turntables and lose your connectors. And you know when the RCA cables pop out with the thing? That's when you've done something real bad. I've had that happen once. It was terrible. Please let the fucking Skyland, their fucking flagship, be better than this. Like, no joke. We're getting up to like, oh, you've made another KOSS with a slightly different signature that has pretty much the same things need to be changed, and you're a little bit cheaper. Get in the bus. Everybody on the bus. Everybody on the fucking fun bus, because price performance matters more on this channel than you know. And 25 plus 15 is 40. If you were to be badass, it'd be $35 more. It's $75. For $75, can you beat Skyland? I don't know, but I'm going to bring it up during the fucking review. And maybe I'll swap this out to the green. Do I have any of the green ones? I have 50 other ones for the headphones coming for the thing, but I don't know. I have a ton. I have so many of them. Actually, these are the original prototypes with blue tack and stuff on them. Thank you for stopping by to hear me rant about the old-fashioned. The packaging was exactly as shit as you imagine it is. See, that right there, that fall away, those fix it. And I guess the treble is just clearer here. Look, I don't know, man. This box, I'm so glad. I hate the font. I did a thing again. I did another thing. I don't know if these will be as robust a build. Meanwhile, KOSS like fall apart. I've literally crazy glued all these together because they just keep popping out. But it is, and these people claim these break, and to do that here, you'd have to actually shatter the plastic. But I don't know, man. It's not. There is a door back here that's inserted. Look, I can't tell you how robust they are until we start really fucking like smashing them under the tables. Like, you really gotta like, oh, I took them on the city bus and I did this to it a bunch of times. I just did it. Did the break? Nope. Things are just rattling. There's just enough play and everything that it rattles. But man, oh man, put that German shit in my ear holes. Oh my, yeah, no. These. Oh, and they on tube do too. You know what? Fuck it. We're going right to the source. Straight real tube. Wow. They're coming for your brand, KOSS. And KOSS is my home team, man. I gotta Angel. Oh, and if you're wondering, those are the FIO essentially equivalent, but those are Bluetooth only. So I'm going to compare those against the Bluetooth version of the Porta Pro, and I also have the new KPH-30 Bluetooth version. So I'll compare against that, because I feel like this is a much fairer comparison. Oh, there's my expensive, longer balance cable. I feel like this is a better comparison. We're only $15 apart, which is literally 40% of the fucking cost. But Now that I found this cheaper cable, so now this cable can be had for $15 and this for $40. That makes it $55 dues. And this cable can be had for $35 with the thing. And these are a $25. That's $60 dues. I think I did math. That still makes these cheaper balanced. But then you got to add the pads. And the pads are Please, I implore you. If there's a headphone out there that you kind of love, but it's not as good as your other headphones, try modding it. Try modding it. In fact, we need to get Ryan from Mod House to make the Mod House forums. So it's just about headphone modding. And if you show up with a stock pair of headphones, you're kicked out. We'll write in a thing for that. Patreon and subscribe to support this channel. I spent my own money on these. Oh my God, it actually hurt to buy a piece of audio gear. I did that twice. I bought a set of IMs that I crushed with a fucking pliers. Check that out on the Inner Fetish channel. Because that was not worth those were $46. I could have gotten nearly 2 sets of these for that. And I crushed them with a pliers, and I'm literally orgasming from these. So yeah, I think I'll take these over most cheap IMs. But yeah, Patreon subscribers support the channel. Waifus are in the wallpaper horde, or you can get the snippet from me for Imgur and then pop it in. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for supporting the channels and all your yard sale bids. Oh, it also came with a little Moondrop Velcro. Look how cute this little thing is. It's like you can only wrap that wire because it's only 1.5 inches long. Anyway, I'm done. You're done. We're done. I'll see you in the next one. I thought you would like to see the satisfaction of the wires after I straighten them. Oh, a little bit of heat gun action. Oh, baby. We good. See you next time.